This computer is giving me the worst time. 1 minute it wants to work, the next minute it doesn't want to work. So what we're going to do, we're going to start reading Reader's Digest. Believe it or not, I had this halfway going, and then all of a sudden my picture showed up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why is it showing a picture of me? I wasn't used to that. So stupid me stops it and restarts it, and look what it does. It doesn't work on the picture. But maybe that's a good thing. You don't want to see messy old me because I've got a workout in, and ooh, my face is all red and flustered from all that good hot workout. I got to thank Easton Corbin, Mel McDaniel, Charlie Pride, and Walker Montgomery, and let me think of another one that I was boogieing to in the front room. A lot of Easton Corbin. Anyway, Reader Digest, May 2021. Let's start hitting it. I know we won't get through all of it, but the good news is we're going to make a dent tonight. This will probably be part 1 of 2. I'm not lying. It'll probably be part 1 of 2. We're only going to do 3 stories tonight. Then this computer acted up, so we'll see if that happens again. If it does this time, I'm prepared. World of Good. Kindness. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. There was a shortage. Like many kids, 11-year-old Ashlyn McDonald of Attleboro, Massachusetts, has a favorite meal, SpaghettiOs with meatballs, which she eats at least once a day, and sometimes 3 times. Unlike other kids, Ashlyn's needs for this comfort food is serious. She's autistic and nonverbal, and a mouthful of canned pasta soothes her. Structure is what centers her. It gives her a sense of control when everything else seems chaotic and overwhelming, says her mom, Crystal McDonald. Ashlyn is most comfortable when she feels like she's living Groundhog Day every day. SpaghettiOs is a sensory experience for her. Naturally, the McDonalds keep their pantry stocked with SpaghettiOs, and during the run on the supplies that caused by the pandemic last year, stores suddenly ran out. Crystal had to drive farther and farther every week to find them. Her search became time-consuming that a local newspaper ran a story. And then something amazing happened. Strangers in the region scoured their grocery shelves and shipped what they could find to Ashlyn. All told, she received 400 cans from the community and another 782 from the Campbell Soup Company. Crystal is thrilled and relieved, but not nearly as much as Ashlyn. When she sees all those cans of SpaghettiOs, she's very happy, Crystal says. Ingenuity. Made-to-order Lego ramps provide barrier-free travel. Legos to the rescue. Disabled by a car accident 25 years ago, Rita Abel had long been frustrated by the number of shops and cafes that were inaccessible to the wheelchair users. A year ago, the 62-year-old grandmother from Hanau, Germany, came up with a simple solution: ramps made of Legos. Helped by her husband, Abel had constructed dozens of these surprisingly sturdy made-to-order Lego ramps for the shop entrances. I'm trying to sensitize the world a bit to barrier-free travel, says Abel. Anyone who could seriously end up in a situation. Hello, everyone. See, I told you, every once in a while it does come back to life, and then it goes to dormant again. But this is a new necklace. This is the one I got for Easter from Grandpa. It is a Montana silversmith. And I have a new tank top on that I got myself at Goodwill a couple of weeks ago. It kind of looks like something that you would see in Yellowstone, like their fashion. But back to the story. Anyone could suddenly end up in a situation that puts them in a wheelchair, as happened to me. It's a brilliant idea, says Makilia L. Hardy, who has one of Abel's ramps at the entrance to her hair salon. You can see that from afar that you can get in here without any problems. Nature. Making turbines bird-friendly. Birds colliding with the turbine blades is one of the main negative effects of the onshore wind farm. But a 9-year study at a wind farm in Smola, Norway, has found that the bird strikes can be cut more than 70% simply by painting one blade of a wind turbine black. Now, scientists believe that this reduces what they call motion smear, allowing birds to see 3 rotating blades. Chandran-based researchers Roal Mayer says that further tests on the wind farms are needed to confirm these findings. And they show a painted blade that helps reduce bird strikes. Whew, good gravy. Okay, so the next little part here is we're going to do how to strengthen your immune system. Scientists don't have all the answers, but exercise, proper diet, and stress management can make you more resilient at any age. This is by Mike Zimmerman from AARP Bulletin. One aspect of COVID-19 pandemic that has kept us guessing since the early days is why some people who get the virus don't suffer much and others become desperately ill. All the more while the elderly have been particularly hard hit. Some, even centenarians, survive, whereas countless younger people whose immune systems are supposed to be more robust have succumbed to it. So what factors give some people a stronger immune system than others regardless of age? What does it mean if, for example, your partner or child gets sick and you don't, vice versa? We know that our immune systems slowly decline as we age. Doctors call it immunosensitive science. It's slow and insidious. Think of a photo of yourself from 10 years ago versus one taken this afternoon. You see changes in your face, your skin, your hair color, says Inu Kang, MD, Director of Allergy Immunology at Yale School of Medicine. It takes time, some process with your immune system. The difference in the rate of decline is between individuals is science by big mystery. The immune system is complex, but most of us understand the basics. Our bodies detect an intruder, a virus, a bacterium, parasite, or foreign object, and produce white blood cells to combat the problem. How many of the cells can produce when you say you're 73 versus when you're 45? Is the million-dollar question, and it's the heart of the COVID-19 pandemic. Fortunately, we won't always be in a pandemic, but we can understand this one gain, an understanding of how immune system changes with age and how we might slow the decline and stay stronger in the future. What factors give some people a stronger immune system? Immunity and aging. No one knows why our bodies don't produce as many immune cells as we get older, says Atu Boutte, MD, a distinguished professor of epidemiology, biostatistics, and pediatrics at University of California, San Francisco. Dr. Butte worked with research team on a review of 242 studies that revealed some insights, especially regarding the T cells, which are white blood cells that attack viruses. We possess two broad categories of T cells, quote, memory cells that have encountered a certain pathogen and remember how to fight it, and the naive cells that have to fight yet nothing. And we've seen especially the number of naive T cells seems to be lower as we age, says Dr. Butte says, and those exactly are the cells we need to recognize newly emerging microorganisms like COVID-19 virus, says Dr. Kang. This means that when the virus something our immune system haven't seen before shows up, most of us don't have the memory T cells to immobilize, so the naive cells have to take on the fight. Since older folk have fewer naive cells to fight with a group, they are more vulnerable, but Dr. Butte observed in a study review that some healthy older people had very little to decline in the T cells. Some had many as the younger people, and young women generally seem to have higher amounts as they age. The reasons the key cells decline over time could be manifold. We know genetics play a part, Dr. Butte says, but it's debatable how big a part compared to the environment and the lifestyle. Chronic low-grade inflammation that develop the advanced age can also affect the immune system. Lifestyle factors, poor sleep, ongoing stress, and weight gain are common causes of the symptomatic issues as the autoimmune disease and decreased liver or kidney function. This inflammation causes the immune system to operate abnormally by constantly firing, which accelerates the aging process on a cellular level and can lead to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, and more. Most systems in our bodies are tightly regulated, says Seen Isayato Ling, the MD professor at the Geriatric School of Medicine at Johns Hopkins University. The immune system is no exception, which is why the dysregulation is so dangerous. What's more, chronic inflammation is silent and produces no symptoms. Your immune system can be compromised and you don't even know it. Taking charge. When we talk about vulnerability in older adults, there are two important parts: incessance, where you get an infection of any kind, and severity. If you do become infected, having a stronger immune function may be determined by how badly you are infected, says Dr. Ling. While we can't do anything about your genetic makeup, and you may not be able to completely stop declining your immunity as you age, slowing it down can mean a higher immune reserve for when you need it most. Fortunately, many factors that positively affect your immune system are within your control, including these: movement, Regular workouts boost immune function and lower inflammation. A 2019 study in the Nature Reviews Immunology noted that a skeletal muscle is a major immune regulatory organ that generates anti-inflammatory immunoprotection protein called mycokines. A 2018 study found that the higher intensity workout may blunt immune system decline in older adults. Exercise strengthens the body and may be the most important lifestyle intervention that you can add, says Dr. Kang. Self-knowledge. Dr. Butte suggests that people may gain a better understanding of where health is right now. For example, those with asthma may want to start measuring their peak flow to know what their normal lung function is. The more we can use the digital device and tools, the more we understand, he says. If something changes, you're not just going to go to the doctor and says, I'm having trouble breathing. You can say, my airflow is dropped to 8%. Staying on top of the chronic condition will allow you to spot declines quickly so you and your doctor can decide on a better course of therapy. Nutrition. Eating right and avoiding obesity. Those inflammatory effect is deadly. Are common sense, but research also reveals specific effects of diet on the immune function in older adults. A study reviewed in the journal Nutritions in 2018 showed that the basic nutrients such as vitamin A, C, and D, and E, and B vitamins, along with folic acid, iron, selenium, and zinc, are essential for the immune competence, with deficiencies causing the lower T cell production and inability to resolve inflammation. Strive for balance. Eat not just vegetables, but good proteins and fiber, Dr. Kang says. The latter is important because it feeds our good bacteria in your gut, and we can have lower inflammation. We can have a lot of immune cells in the gut that help regulate health. Dietary fiber may have more than single effect of making the bowel move. Calm. Research has shown that regulated stress can accelerate immunoscience, and since a chronic immune response to whatever stressing you can result in inflammation, self-care in this area is critical from the anti-stress activities. Meditation, mindfulness, exercise to ask for help in unresolved stress situations, work, money, caregiving. And vaccines, they are designed to provoke the production of antigens, but our aging immune reserve doesn't respond so robustly as it did in our earlier years. That shouldn't make you lazy about vaccines. It's true they become less effective as people get older, Dr. Kang says, but even if you do get infected, the disease will be less severe. People should get whatever vaccines their doctor recommend based on the age and underlying medical condition. Medications. Certain medications may inhibit your immune system. For example, oral and inhaled corticosteroids, common treatment for arthritis, allergies, asthma, and inflammatory bowel disease, may raise your risk of fungal infections. The same is true for tumor neural bacterial TNF inhibitors that treat autoimmune conditions such as rheumatoid arthritis and psoriasis. Even antibiotics could kill gut bacteria and trigger some kinds of infection, Dr. Kang says. So if you have any ongoing medications, talk to your doctor about the possible immune system side effects and how to address them. COVID-19 lessons. In addition to a newfound appreciation for hand washing and how far away 6 feet is, the COVID-19 pandemic will, in the end, teach us more about our health, vulnerabilities, individuality, and as an aging population. Dr. Butte believes the pandemic will usher in a new era of immunity research. We're going to learn a lot in a hurry, he says. Dr. Ling foresees a large push into the learning more about the aging and immunity by studying the older adult population, unlocking the unknown mechanisms in the immune response. He's already part of the massive National Institute of Health Geriatric Science initiative involving hundreds of research. The traditional medical model focuses on individual disease, he says, but we'll try to see if we can find an underlying mechanism in immunity, something upstream in the process. Then we can do a wider search rather than chase after individual diseases. If we can do that, the older population will handle all the immune challenges better. Is your immune system vulnerable? These are among the health conditions that can cause your immunocompromised, meaning your immune system is less able to fight off a viral infection. If you have been diagnosed with any of the following, then take precaution to protect yourself and talk with your doctor about whether it's necessary to adjust your treatment. Obesity. According to emerging research, is the Adipose tissue fat can inhibit immune function. A 2018 study of patients over the flu season found that obese adults took 42% longer to fight the virus than did non-obese people. Diabetes, high blood sugar, hypoglycemia is an inflammatory condition that tends to inhibit the immune response and raise the risk for infection. People who have uncontrolled high blood sugar are particularly vulnerable. Cancer. Cancer and its various treatments can reduce white blood cells and count and make patients more open to infection, while at the same time making it harder to fight any infection that they get. If you are a cancer patient or survivor, discuss your situation with your doctor who is familiar with medical history. Asthma, COPD, and other respiratory diseases. Viruses love to attack the lungs, so people who have existing lung conditions are at risk more severe symptoms when they do get sick. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, patients are particularly vulnerable to lung infections, which can further damage an already compromised air sac. Autoimmune disease. Not only can infection trigger a flare-up of autoimmune disease such as rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, and psoriasis, the treatment of those conditions can involve immunosuppressive drugs that can raise your infection risk. Also, autoimmune conditions can cause interstitial lung disease, a dangerous condition that can cause the scarring of the lungs. Heart disease. Based on the early data, as many as 40% of COVID-19 patients who required hospitalization had existing cardiovascular disease, the American College of Cardiology reports. Okay. Well, we're going to stop there for tonight, and we'll pick back up on page 30 tomorrow. And hopefully we'll finish Reader's Digest May 2021 tomorrow. But we got a good start, right? And that's what's really important. I love each and every one of you. Make sure you're keeping your 3 feet of social distance, washing your hands. When you can't wash your hands, use your hand sanitizer. Always wear your mask. I don't care. We're not out of the woods yet. And make sure that you have faith, hope, and love, and lots of joy in your heart, some prosperity in the bank as well. And make sure that you learn that it's better to give than it is to receive. The greatest form of payment is 2 words: thank you. Never ask for money in return. Just tell them to do the deed in return for someone else. So, that's all I have for you tonight. God bless. See you tomorrow. Hopefully.